Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, welcome back to ChäoS said. Let's go ahead and continue on. Let me make sure to start my timer for 20 minutes. And I'm not quite sure if I read this last time, so just to be on the safe side, I'm going to read it again. If Nanami were a little cuter, I might have been able to fap to this eroge-esque situation, but that personality of hers only made me go flaccid. I put the lid back on the Coke bottle and threw it at the giant garbage bag that sat in the corner of my room. Instead of going in the bag, it bounced off the wall and rolled under the bed. Meh, whatever. Let's see, better get back to immersing myself in Sue. I had to forget about reality and its aggravations ASAP. In truth, though, I was only able to stay in Basiland for one day before my time there had to be interrupted. The moment I stepped outside early in the morning, my recovering nerves plummeted back into the worst shape imaginable. Why did I have to go to school? But I couldn't take the day off. Take even a single day off and abnormalities would emerge in the system imposed by my minimum attendance shift chart. Then I wouldn't be able to graduate. It was something I decided on myself, but I couldn't help griping about it. While passing through Shoto's high-class residential district, I came to an abrupt realization. For a while now, I'd been sensing someone's gaze. Unusually, though, it wasn't God's gaze. My neck muscles weren't growing twitchy. As I rounded the corner, I used my eyes alone to look behind me, while turning my head. For a second, I glimpsed a girl wearing the Suime uniform. Could it be the demon from the day before yesterday? I immediately lost my calm. My heart began beating wildly. A supreme tension controlled my movements, making me walk jerkily. The serene morning scenery metamorphosized, leaving me with the sense that everything around me was rejecting me. Birds chirped atop telephone wires, and I could faintly hear the relaxed BGM of morning news programs playing in the houses I was passing, and that's background music. For anyone that doesn't know what BGM is usually used to stand for, it's background music. In the midst of this vista that seemed like it couldn't possibly have less to do with a murder case, I was on the verge of picturing myself dying hideously. No, get a grip. I hadn't clearly identified her face. Also, if she were a Suime student, it would be natural for her to keep following after me. Our destination was the same, after all. Okay, then. At a spot from which I could get to school simply by continuing straight ahead, I turned to the right instead. I was anxious about what might be behind me, but I fervently suppressed the urge to turn around and attempted to act natural as I carried out my plan. Heart pounding, I went on walking. After having continued for about another minute, I whipped back around with all my might. Our eyes were about to meet, so I hastily faced forward again. Why was she following me? This road was obviously the long way to school. In the end, was she really tailing me? In any case, I didn't recognize her face. The fact that she was wearing glasses made it instantly clear that she wasn't the demon from the day before yesterday. That alone was enough to make me feel relieved. At this rate, I might as well hurry up and head for school. I had to cancel my daily routine of eating breakfast in the park, but it couldn't be helped. Okay, girl A. To me, your existence is no more than the equivalent of passerby 1 or girl A, so don't stick your nose in my business. Girl A, who had appeared to be tailing me, vanished at the school's entrance. It would seem that our final destination differed or she had gone in the direction of the seniors' classrooms. Was the whole being tailed thing just a result of me overthinking everything? But there was undeniably something off about the fact that she'd followed me when I made a detour. Was she trying to torment me? Had I done something to earn her spite? No, I hadn't. There was no way I had, since at school my existence is like air. Then what could possibly be her goal? I somehow managed to while away my time at school, though it caused me nothing but agony, and on my way back, I made my usual stop at Cafe. Of course, my seat was in the booth called Room 37. Though the private rooms around me were normally empty, surprisingly enough, today there was already someone in the nearby Room 36. The door setting the room apart was closed, the illumination of the desk light leaked out from within. As I entered my room, I clicked my tongue a little. It'd be hard to chat and stuff with someone in a neighboring room, since I had a habit of inadvertently talking to myself. Well, no matter. For the time being, I'd start by logging into Ensu. There wouldn't be any problems if I took care not to talk out loud. Irritated, I smacked the keyboard with my palm. About 2 hours had passed since I started playing. My stress just kept building up today. The pair I'd formed a party with were noobs, no matter how you looked at it. I was being nice enough to try and help them shine, but they'd dive in on their own and die on their own. And while they kept repeating that, the other magic user didn't make a single effort to provide magical support. Thanks to that, the whole party had been massacred countless times. Which was why they did nothing but complain in our chats. Damn it. You people suck at this. It pissed me off so much that I PK'd them, stole their items, and immediately escaped to a different area. Wow, okay. Lisa could easily do the kinds of things that Nightheart couldn't. That was why I came all the way out here to log in at Cafe. Feeling a little better than before, I decided to take a break by going to get a drink. Cafe had free refills, so there were a lot of juice machines placed around the main counter. The one downside to room 37 was its distance to the main counter, or from the main counter. As I came out of my room, I saw that the door at the neighboring room 36 was open. To get to the front, I had no choice but to pass in front of it. As I passed it, I nonchalantly peeked inside, but no one was there. Come to think of it, I'd heard the sound of someone standing up a short while ago. But a bag had been left at the foot of the reclining chair. It was a student's bag with a stuffed animal strap hanging down from it. It was the same Garo Froggy Nanami had brought with her yesterday. Moreover, there were 3 of them. I guess they really were becoming a trend after all. Not that I cared one way or the other. If I spent too long looking, the other customer might come back and suspect me of being a pervert or a thief. Having thought that, I was able to go get my drink. Or I was about to go and get my drink. But the letters displayed on the monitor of the powered-up PC entered the edge of my field of sight, and my eyes opened wide. It said New Gen Wiki. That wasn't all. It also used gaudy, sensationalistic fonts. New Gen. I was deliberately trying not to pay attention to news about those incidents. I didn't want to know the details, that way I could keep telling myself it had no connection to me. No, but setting all that aside, perhaps there was some kind of meaning in the fact that the customer in the room next door to me at a net cafe was looking at a New Gen Wiki site. For an instant, that demon girl's face appeared in my brain, and goosebumps covered my whole body. I forcibly chased away such negative thoughts by shaking my head. I was overthinking it. That's right, this was paranoia. Plain and simple, there wasn't a single day when the New Gen incidents didn't show up on some TV program, and anyone would be interested in them. That was all there was to it. Yeah, that had to be it. Of course, right. Definitely. Alright, time to get back to refilling my drink. Putting my cup under the drink machine, I pressed the button for a Coke without a moment's hesitation. Cold Cokes soon started pouring out. The sun was setting, and after a little while it would begin to get crowded. In the front room, I saw several customers waiting by the register for someone to guide them to their rooms. From here on out, the number of people would keep increasing as night approached. After another hour, all the private booths around room 37 would be filled up. At that point, I'd probably head home. Cup in hand, I was heading back to my seat. Along the way, I happened to glance into the corridor that led to the bathrooms. I saw a form of a bespectacled girl in a Sume uniform vanishing into the corridor's depths. More to the point, it was the same girl A who'd come chasing after me this morning. Thinking that my eyes might have been mistaken, I hid in the shadow of some bookshelves and kept looking in the direction of the corridor. But from then onward, she didn't show herself whatsoever. My eyes had been mistaken, hadn't they? Right, I'd only caught a glimpse of her. Hey, a ridiculous number of Sume girls use this cafe. Even glasses-wearing girls were here in abundance. And if it were indeed Girl A, what could be the meaning behind her being here? A mere coincidence? Or had she come after me? Somehow, I was starting to get kind of scared. I left the cafe and hurried toward my base. In the end, I left the store shortly after getting freaked out. Though I wanted to return home as soon as possible, the sidewalks were surging with people, and I couldn't progress as quickly as I'd have liked. I was starting to feel worse and worse. I hate crowds. They give me the sense that everyone's looking at me and snickering. When the light turned red, my only option was to stop. I swiftly scanned the area. Girl A was nowhere to be seen. When I climbed up Dogan Hill, walking became considerably easier. Normally, I would do my best to go back by choosing the kinds of back roads where other people are scarce, but after what had happened on that night, the day before yesterday, I stuck to the main roads, just in case. Another red light forced me to pull up short, and I looked behind me again, but I didn't see Girl A. The person I'd seen at cafe might have been someone different after all. Mildly relieved, I relaxed my shoulders a little, since they'd been frozen in place this whole time, and faced forward. Red, because why the fuck not? I don't know, we'll see what it does. Stunned, I took a single step back. On the other side of the crosswalk, that girl was there, in the midst of the people waiting for the light to change. And the gaze coming from the depths of her glasses was blatantly pointed at me. She didn't try to look away. Her eyes brimmed with a solemn color, demanding something from me. Perhaps reflecting the headlights of a passing car, Girl A's glasses shone sharply. I heard it. Through her twisted lips, a sound like mocking laughter. Even though we were so far apart, even though there were so many people, my ears picked up on the sigh-like sound of her laughter. Laughing, she suddenly pulled up the hem of her skirt. From underneath it, something glittered and fell to the ground in huge numbers. They resembled crosses. An image of the stakes I'd seen at the pinned-in-place crime scene appeared in my head like a flash of light. Okay. Her expression was perfect in its abnormality. Eyes bloodshot, cheeks pulled back and twitching, she smiled only with her mouth. And as if she'd thought of something, she forced her way out from among the people waiting for the light to change. Though it was still red, she stepped out onto the crosswalk. My body shrank with terror. I thought I would run away, but my feet were rooted to the ground and wouldn't move. nor could I speak. She was drawing closer. She was crossing the street, gripping one of those cross-like stakes. Don't come here. Oh! Okay, now I just want to read that last part there. The moment after I prayed for that, Girl A's body was struck flying by an oncoming truck. Okay, I didn't get to read that first one because it transitioned too quickly for me. The screams rose from all around. From where I was standing, blocked by the crowd, I couldn't see what had become of her. But surely, she was dead. She had to be dead. She had to be lying on the road like an old rag drenched in blood. I'm saved, I thought inappropriately. And of course, it's all a dream, or something to that effect. But you know what? I think I might go and cut this off here. There's about 4 minutes left. And, well, I don't think I'll be in a fairly decent position to cut it in about 4 minutes. And I'd rather not go over. So, I'm going to go and cut it here. So, open the save screen and save there. And, as always, like, favorite, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys next time. Until then, goodbye and farewell.